Cincinnati Bengals fans, I got some news for you. Your team is honestly not very good, but you know that. The world knows that. But I am here today to help you rebuild your teams. We're doing a Madden 20 rebuilding challenge featuring the Cincinnati Bengals. I have 3 seasons to turn your team into a really good team, a Super Bowl contender, one might say. Can I do it? I hope so. Is it going to be difficult? You bet. And as a heads up, if you're one of the 50% of people who watches these videos that are not yet subscribed, if you subscribe right now and we hit 300,000 subs by June 11th of this year, I'll be giving 2 of you $500 each through PayPal, through Venmo, through Cash App, whatever your preferred service is, I'll make it happen. So just remember, if you have a friend and they haven't subbed yet, what is wrong with them? And what's wrong with you? Make them sub right now. So first things first with the Bengals is we have a lot of players to go ahead and negotiate contracts with. I'm going to show you who I'm going to keep and who I'm getting up out of here. So we try to re-sign a lot of people, and to be honest, I wasn't thinking about how bad the Bengals were. None of them wanted to re-sign. So AJ Green, I had to franchise tag him because we're probably going to trade AJ. He's 32. He's old. We don't really need him right now. We can get some younger talent in the draft, but right now AJ will keep you or we're getting rid of you. Tyler Reifert said I don't want to play here. Darqueze Dennard doesn't want to play here. Andrew Billings, we ended up getting him, but every single person besides that, Nick Vigil, said no. I just said for the rest of these guys, you know what? I'm not going to waste my chance. We're going to just withdraw offers on everyone. Is there some potential there? Sure. But are they a part of one of the worst teams in NFL history? Yes. So the first trade we're going to try to pull off is AJ Green and Andy Dalton. Get him up out here. That is a lot of money on those guys. 19 mil for AJ, 17.5 mil for Andy Dalton. For the Cowboys, first overall pick in the draft with 17, and then the 4th pick with 113. I think they'll actually take it. They were pretty close to the previous one, and they take it. All that money went to Jerry Jones. What are you thinking? And if you're freaking out saying the Cowboys would never take on a quarterback in that situation, oh, they would, because right now they don't have Dak Prescott. He is not re-signed with them and is opted for free agency. So Andy Dalton is all they have. So in free agency, there's a lot to play with here. You got Chris Jones, you got Amari Cooper, Devin McCourty. I mean, the list goes on of some pretty talented guys. Some of these guys are pretty young too, which makes me really happy. So we're going to try to see who we can sign, what we can get them for, and hopefully not overpay. Feeling optimistic right now. Now, as much as I like Geno Smith, I realize his contract is handicapping us like crazy. We owed him something like 60 or 70 million over the next couple of years, and it was like a 14 to 19 million cap this year. So we got rid of Geno. We got the number 3 overall draft pick from the Detroit Lions. And it's time to make some big moves. Let's see what we got in free agency. Let's go into the draft. Feeling pretty optimistic. So our first round of contracts went to Amari Cooper, who rejected it. Then Chris Jones, rejected it, and then we got Ricky Seals-Jones, but we did not get Darqueze Dennard, who left us and said I don't want to ever play with you for again. Things got a little dicey. Let's try to get a few more, and then it's on to the draft. Our next round of free agents went a little bit better. Mike Hilton didn't sign with us, which again, whatever, but we got Body Calhoun, we got Costanzo as a left tackle because our offensive line is abysmal. We got Matt Skura, we got Vernon Hargraves, and we got Glasgow. So the offensive line is in a significantly better spot. The rest of the team, there's still a lot of work. So to recap free agency, we got Costanzo, Seals-Jones, Glasgow, Skura, Body Calhoun, and Vernon Hargraves. But from the league perspective, Chris Jones, even though we traded Geno Atkins over there, the Lions still picked him up. We were in a bidding battle. We didn't have enough money, unfortunately, but they've spent a lot of money on 2 defensive tackles, almost $100 million in total. Kind of wild. Amari Cooper goes to Buffalo, McCourty goes to the Chargers, Kendall Fuller goes to the Seahawks, Armstead at the Panthers. Again, I'll go through some of these really quickly. I want to see where Dak Prescott went. Dak Prescott went to the Washington racial slurs. So he went to the opposite team. Dallas did not pay that man. He got a pretty solid payday there. $105 million in total. Probably not what he wanted, but still good money for him. And what Dak will be not happy about is that Josh Gordon, even though he lost Amari Cooper there, Josh Gordon now goes to the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry, of course, is going to try to pay that dude some money. If he can be healthy and not mess up off the field, he's going to be a dominant player for them. So the NFL draft is here, and again, because we started at the end of the season, I don't really have all of the scouting that I want, but we are using That Franchise Guy's draft class. Shout out to him on Xbox One. We're going to use it, and of course, because we are the Bengals, you got to take Joe Burrow. Would it be a rebuild without this man right here? So Joe Burrow, we're going to draft him. Played as an early first rounder, comes out at a 75 overall, ranked number 17 in true value. We got him at number 1, but still, the Bengals believe in him. So we got to believe in him. 86 throw power, 84 deep, 82 medium, 89 short accuracy, 87 throw in the run. Play action is good. His speed is good. His acceleration is great. I think generally he's going to be a solid player for us. Is he the best player in the draft? Well, no, they say not, but I like the potential. Joe Burrow, let's get some weapons around you now. Now, keep in mind, because of the trades that we did, we have the 3rd overall pick, and then we have the 17th overall pick as well. This is interesting. The next pick that was taken was Andrew Thomas by the Washington Racial Slurs, and then here at number 3, we have our choice of a lot of big players. Chase Young, we got Jeff Okodu out of, I believe, Ohio State, who we didn't scout him, but we know he's a really good talent as well. Jerry Jeudy, again, an opportunity to put a really good wide receiver around there. Unfortunately, we don't have any combine numbers from any of these guys, which is hurting us a little bit. I think we have to go, though, between Jerry Jeudy or CD Lamb. We're seeing A in spectacular catch, A- in catching, B in catching traffic, A- for catching traffic, B spectacular catch, B+ catching. Honestly, it's a toss-up. I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy, and we're going to pair him up with another SEC guy, obviously, in Joe Burrow. He's a 76 overall, rated higher than Joe Burrow. You get 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 80 catching, 83 catching traffic, 81 spectacular catch. His route running is actually really good for a rookie receiver. He's got an aggressive catch trait right off the bat, 79 release. I think this is a good pick. We don't know what CD Lamb would have been. Maybe he's a little bit faster, but Jerry Jeudy, not a bad pick at all. At pick 17, we got to make sure we go on defense here. Our offense has gotten a little bit of love. There's a right tackle available here, but I think Patrick Queen out of LSU is the guy we're going to go ahead and take. We need a middle linebacker. They have really no middle linebackers here. He's a 73 overall, ranked 31. We got him at 17. So maybe we could have waited. If we look at his stats, high speed, good tackle, block shedding's terrible, hit power is solid, pursuit and acceleration are great. There's some raw ability here. There's some work to be done, but we needed somebody on our team, and he'll be a starter day 1 at middle linebacker for us. The top of the 2nd round with pick number 1, Herbert, Love, Henry Ruggs actually is slated to be not that great in this draft class. I'm saying he's maybe not as good as we might think that he is. We got an opportunity for a left end, another defensive tackle. J.K. Dobbins is there, but we have a really good running back. We could also look at trading our draft pick 2, which I think I'm kind of curious. This is a 3-year rebuild. If we look at our draft picks really quickly, we get anybody offering us a 1st rounder next year. We unfortunately don't, but we get a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th. 2 of those are from next year. We get a 2nd and a 5th, 2nd and 6th, 2nd and 4th, 2nd rounder. I think, honestly, if we can stockpile some picks for next year's draft, that might honestly be the best case scenario. I think we're going to go with what we were... Ooh, the Bears actually 53 and 85. What were the Colts projected to be? Let's go with the Bears. So the Bears give us 2 draft picks, both in next year in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. We're going to go ahead and lock that one up. So to look at our draft recap, we got Joe Burrow at 75 overall. We got Jerry Jeudy at 76. We got Patrick Queen at 73. KJ Hill in round 4 to 71. In round 5, we got Mike Hampton at 64 overall corner. We kind of missed a little bit there. And then James Proche in the 7th round at 68 overall. To be honest, that was an absolute steal. He apparently is going to have... He had his arms folded when we were looking at him, so he's a hidden development trait. I feel optimistic. I'm hoping he's good, but still, a diamond in the rough for sure. So to look at our team as we start off this first real season, we have Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd. We've got John Ross at a receiver. We got Seals Jones. The offensive line, honestly, still has a lot of work to be done. We got a 76, an 83, and a 74. So the center to left side is good. The right side, a 68 and a 70. There's work to be done. We got a draft, though. We got free agency. We got some things that we can do there. But we got to hope that our offense is okay. On defense, what do we have here? We got... Queen is not starting, so we need to go ahead and fix that really quick. Let's generate our best lineup to make sure we got everybody where they need to be. So Queen is a middle linebacker. We got Evans, got Atash. Oh my god. Okay, there's some rough things. Bates will be solid. Jackson for Patrick is back. Body Calhoun will be helping out there. We're okay. We're not great. There are holes all over this team, but I'm optimistic we can get this job done. This is unreal. This is unreal. The Bengals have made the playoffs. I repeat, the Bengals have made the playoffs. And I just want to point out before you come out here and accuse me of rigging this or anything of that nature, notice forced win, none. Regular season, forced win. The only one that says home is the bye week. The rest of these say none. What are you going to do now, salty boys? The fact that we're 11-5 and almost won the division is kind of crazy. Joe Burrow balls out in his first year. 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 3,800 yards passed. And let's go ahead and see what his development trait ends up being. We actually have 5 upgrade points there. We'll get those in a second. He's having a superstar depth trait, which is great news. He's a 77 overall. And we haven't even upgraded him yet. He has inside Deadeye. He has conductor. we're in a good spot right now. On the running game, Joe Mixon didn't have the greatest year, 834 yards on the ground. Giovanni Bernard had 577. Burrow ran for 245 himself with 5 touchdowns. And Rodney Anderson even got involved too with 147 and 4 touchdowns. On the receiving side, we did not have a 1,000-yard receiving guy, but that's okay. Tyler Boyd, 854 and 9. John Ross, 680 and 3. Steals Jones to 6 touchdowns and 600 yards. Jeudy, it's not honestly that bad. 600 yards, ultimately receiving, and 3 touchdowns. Is it going to get him on the all-rookie team? No, but it's still pretty solid. On defense, though, Patrick Queen stepped up huge. I got to imagine he's got a pretty good depth trade if we try to figure that out really quickly. Superstar depth trade for him, so great news. 100 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 pick. I mean, that's really good. 8 tackles for a loss. I'm happy. And if we look at Jerry Jeudy really quick, I know we didn't see what his depth trade was, but I got to imagine he's got to be at least a silver. Possibly. Let's see what he's got. He's at superstar as well. So all 3 rookies we got with our first 3 picks have a superstar depth trait. That is huge for us. And to make us feel pretty good, Joe Burrow actually gets your offensive rookie of the year, which is great. And defensive rookie, Patrick Queen. Talk about hitting it on the draft. We did it. Our receiver didn't work out so well in year 1, but I'm happy with this. And we've upgraded Jerry Jeudy with all of his upgrades that he earned to an 80 overall. He now has in-out elite. So again, he's progressing pretty nicely. He'll get another one at 90 overall. Probably won't get there by year 3, but still, job well done for him. Joe Burrow is now up to an 82 overall after a stellar rookie year. He is inside Deadeye and then again conductor. So no new abilities for him just yet, but maybe once he gets that X factor, hopefully we'll see him rise up again. So our playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs, we're going to go ahead and sim that and see how it ends up performing. If we win it, I'd be surprised. We lost it. So we lost 24-21, a pretty close game, but look, there's a lot to be happy with. Going into year 2, let's hope we knock out the draft, get some more great players to help out this team. So for our contracts before they hit free agency, we got Joe Mixon back. Costanzo did not want to sign back with us, and I don't want to franchise him because he's like 33, so it's not worth it. Carl Lawson, we got him back. William Jackson III, though, decided to not come back. He's too expensive to franchise tag, in my opinion, so we'll try to get him back in free agency, or maybe we won't. We'll figure that out, but still, he's a big loss if we can't keep him. Andrew Billings, we got back. Sean Williams, Randy Bullock decided to bolt. Ryan Glasgow comes back. Cordy Glenn, Jeremiah Tasha, we could not get. Jordan Evans and Andrew Brown. Andrew Brown, we got all those guys back. Now, Drake Kirkpatrick, if we got rid of him, gave us a cap savings of about $9.5 million. So I just wanted him up out of here. He's a 70 overall. He has not been good for us. We got rid of him. We got a 7th round draft pick. But honestly, it was a cap move because we need to make some moves in free agency. So free agency this offseason was honestly a whole lot better. We got Gerald Everett. We got Dante Fowler Jr. off a dumb contract. He was wanting like double this, but no one offered him a contract. So we gave him half of that and we got him. William Jackson we brought back. Rodrigo Blankenship is this random kicker we found that has a superstar depth trait as a kicker, so why not sign him too? And then Holton Hill we got for a pretty fair contract as well. We had to overpay slightly, but I think it's worth it. We need help in the secondary, and we got some. Now, Carlos Dunlap is eating up a lot of our contract. He's now got a little bit older at like 32, 33. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of Dunlap, a 2nd round pick, because we had 2 of them this year, which is our later one, and get the 11th overall draft pick in this draft class. There's a lot of talent up front. Now, I know that we have drafted a lot of wide receivers so far, but I cannot pass up on Justyn Ross. 6'4", 211, the dude is a monster. We're assuming that this is just like his real life counterpart. He's very good. So we're picking him and we get a 79 overall player, ranked 2nd, and we got him at 11. It is perfect value. Hate me all you want. I had to go ahead and gamble. 91 speed, 93 acceleration, 84 catch, 88 catch in traffic, 91 spectacular catch, 94 jump. Good Lord. 84 release. This is beautiful. This is the same exact rating that John Ross is currently, except John Ross eats up about $14.5 million of our salary cap. We can now get rid of John Ross, put in Justyn Ross, and get ourselves another player. So recapping this draft, Justyn Ross was the pride jewel there. We got him at the 11th pick. We got Richard LeCounty out of Georgia at 75 overall. We got a tight end at 67, a guard at 68, a wide receiver at 66, a right end at 63, and then it's honestly not very good from there. We had a lot of draft picks. We stockpiled a lot of people, but not all of them were talented. So as we head into our 2nd season, the Broncos are poised to be a terrible team. So we're trading John Ross and his contract. Now that we have Justyn Ross, Giovanni Bernard, who's getting a little bit older, and our 3rd round draft pick for the 1st round draft pick from the Broncos. They are poised to have, again, a terrible season. If they can be a top 5 pick like it's projected, that'll be good news for us. So looking at our team, we've gotten, I think, somewhat better. The offensive line is in the middle of the road, I think, right now. We spread out the town a little bit more. Some of our guys have gotten better, but it's nothing to write home about. Going into the third season, that is a prime thing we want to make sure we build up. Joe Burrow's at 82 now. Joe Mixon's at 89. Boyd is our best guy at 84. Jerry Jeudy's now at 81. Justyn Ross is at 79 already. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. And we got Gerald Everett, obviously, in free agency, who's looking pretty solid so far. On defense, we've improved. Mr. Queen is now an 83. Dante Fowler Jr., who we got for dirt cheap, is an 82. Evans is still a liability at a 70. Jesse Bates is looking solid. William Jackson, again, leading us there. Sam Hubbard's improved. We've gotten, I think, spread out a little bit more equally now. The question is, will it result in more wins? Let's find out. So the good news is our team, again, makes the playoffs. Unfortunately, it is just the wild card round. At 10-6, we're matching up against the Patriots, but how did our players do individually? Let's find out. So Mixon didn't have the best year from a yardage standpoint. He threw for about 300 or 400 yards less, but he had 35 touchdowns with 10 interceptions. So a little bit more interceptions, a little bit more in touchdowns, but a lot less in yards. We'll see how it goes. On the rushing side, Joe Mixon finally breaks 1,000 yards. We got rid of Giovanni. We brought in Bryce Love to be his backup, and it worked out pretty well. Joe Burrow, again, 4 touchdowns in the year. Mike Boone had 4. Again, Bryce Love 6, and Joe Mixon 7. Rushing side, I'm really happy with that. That's over 1,500 yards total. That's looking good. Receiving, Justyn Ross ended up being our #1 receiver from a yardage standpoint. 48 for 840 yards. 8 touchdowns for him. Tyler Boyd hit 8 touchdowns on just under 800. Everett was huge for 6. Jerry Jeudy improved a little bit yardage-wise. 5 touchdowns is solid, but he hasn't really broken the mold. But Justyn Ross, though, has proven to be that guy. Patrick Queen continues to anchor out our defense right now. 114 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions. 11 of those tackles are for a loss. 5 deflections for him. Buddy Calhoun had a ton of tackles this year. So did Holton Hill, who was big for us out of free agency. John Williams getting a little bit older, but still playing well. Dante Fowler Jr., 7 sacks. I believe he led the team. Excuse me. Carl Lawson had 9. Fowler had 7. So again, our free agency moves, a lot of impact out there. Buddy Calhoun led us with 4 interceptions. We had 3 guys with 2. Solid play. Can we win a playoff game? That's the big test. So here in the playoffs, we're ready to get things going. We upgraded a couple of guys. Justyn Ross got a new ability slot. Our kicker got a new ability slot. Who would have thunk it? And we've got to go through the Patriots' house and try to beat them with no Tom Brady. That'll be interesting. I'm hoping for a dub. We get a dub by 6 points. We narrowly get that one. Got a couple of players to upgrade. Jerry Jeudy, again, this dude has been not so good, but he's still getting a lot of ratings increases, which, I mean, that's good news for us right now. He's an 85 overall now. +1 to catching, deep route, release, and speed, +2 to medium route. Again, his abilities right now only has in and out. He needs to get to a 90 overall to get that third or that second one. I doubt that happens. And the rest of the guys, we're going to go ahead and just auto upgrade all of them and pray that we can beat whoever's in front of us. The Titans are 13-3. Who would have thunk it? All right, so we're going to go ahead and sim that game. Crossing my fingers we can beat them. We beat the Titans. 41-35. Okay, so far so good. A couple of players to upgrade as well. Joe Burrow, again, we made him a captain now. Field general, strong arm, improviser, and scrambler, all his main things. We're going to upgrade what his scheme is. Go ahead here for strong arm. He gets a +2 to deep accuracy and then +1 to throw accuracy mid. He's now an 87 overall. This is what Bengals fans all across the world have been waiting for right now. So here we go. The Bengals are playing in the conference championship against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Can they get the dub to advance to the Super Bowl? We're about to find out. They beat the Steelers by 2. Unbelievable. So we've got an opportunity to win a Super Bowl here. Joe Mixon, we want to make sure we upgrade him. Elusive back, absolutely keep him going strong. He was a workhorse for us with 1,300 yards this year. +1 to awareness, ball carrier vision, elusiveness, and juke move. Then outside of him, we had Richard LeCounty, who's the guy that we drafted this year, a 77 overall already for this guy. Now with 78. We're upgrading his zone. He's now +2 to awareness, +1 to pursuit and tackle. I mean, this has been one of the best draft classes we put together. Billy Price is also important. He was hot duty when we first had him to start this series off, but now he's gotten a lot better. He's up to a 74 overall, which is fantastic for him. So here it is. We're going to send these last couple of guys. Now is our opportunity if we can win the Super Bowl. So we're going to advance the Pro Bowl. We've been playing the Cardinals in the Super Bowl. I'm assuming that's Kyler Murray and company there. Again, one more opportunity to upgrade. Buddy Calhoun is the guy we're going to upgrade here. Upgrade his slot. We need all the upgrades we can get to try to get the Bengals to get a victory here. If we can do it in 2 seasons, that's incredible. We'll still check a 3rd year, but It would be kind of crazy. All right, so here we go. The Super Bowl between the Cardinals, who are 9-7, and our team, 10-6. Can the Bengals win a Super Bowl? We're about to find out. Cross your fingers. Here we go. They lose the Super Bowl in the most Bengals fashion, down 14. You hate to see it. We'll figure it out. We got one final season to try to win that Super Bowl. Can we do it? Let's find out. So for the players available for us to re-sign, Jesse Bates, we got William Jackson, bolted for free agency yet again. Auden Tate, we decided not to go for him because we wanted to save a little bit of money, and we have a lot of really good receivers. Sam Hubbard, we re-signed. Paris Campbell, we bring back. Bryce Love is back. Body Calhoun says, no, I'm not interested. Glasgow, same thing. Maggio, we said no thank you. Vernon Hargraves, we got. Skura, CJ Azoma, and I think John Miller, and these last two guys we didn't really care about. But we got some people, including Darius Phillips, but there's some big ones that we couldn't bring back. So free agency in our third and final one was a huge one. We got Jair Alexander at 25 years of age. I'm happy about this. I mean, the Bengals are looking like a whole new team right now. 94 overall, huge. We got a fullback. We got ourselves a right guard. We got ourselves a William Jackson for like the millionth time. He re-signed back with us. And Brandon Graham, an old veteran, we bring along for just one last run. I tried to get JJ Watt. We tried to give him an offer, but he had no interest whatsoever in signing with us. Now, if you forgot, that trade we did early in the year ends up paying off pretty well for us. We get a pretty high draft pick, number 6 overall. We have a couple of issues with our team. I want to probably spend it on a free safety right here. We didn't really scout a lot of the other guys, so we're going free safety right here with Daxton Hill. He ends up being a 76 overall. Rank 17, we got him at 6, but still, I'm not mad at that whatsoever. 90 overall, 76 for zone covers, 93 acceleration. I think he's going to be a pretty fine pick. Will he play day one? I don't exactly know, but still, he's a good guy to have on our roster. So to recap our draft in this final challenge, Daxton Hill was our main guy. We ended up getting Zach Charbonnet. What an incredible last name. It's an 80 overall at the end of the first round of running back. That is nuts. I doubt he plays it again. We got Joe Mixon, but Joe Mixon did get hurt in the Super Bowl, I found out, which is probably part of the reason that we ended up losing that. So assuming Charbonnet is healthy and is good to go, he can play pretty much a good backup there. After that, there's nothing really to write home about. These were not good draft picks, and we're going to keep it moving. So the Cowboys are crazy, and they traded us Travis Frederick for Ryan Glasgow. We need a center bad. We don't really need a backup defensive tackle, so we got our center. Now we need a right tackle, and our offensive line will finally, in year 3, be good. So after we got a center, we desperately needed a right tackle, so we traded our first rounder and our fourth rounder, because draft picks don't matter to us at this point, for a right tackle from Miami, who's pretty solid and has a high depth trait. That should be good enough to lock up our team. Let's take a look at him before we send the season. So this team is in incredibly good shape, and I'm really happy with it. The offensive line is, the lowest is a 74. That's Billy Price, who has a pretty high depth trait. So Williams, Price, Frederick, Zeitler, Cleveland, and then Gerald Everett. And then down here we have Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Charbonnet behind him, Tyler Boyd, Justyn Ross, Jerry Jeudy. This is a nasty team. On defense, we go over here really quickly. We have Patrick Queen. We never really figured out who to play right outside linebacker, but it is what it is at this point. Jesse Bates at third, Fowler. This actual guy, Redmond, has like a superstar depth trait, so he's been pretty interesting. Sean Williams, Holton Hill, Carl Lawson, Wren, Billings, Hubbard, Alexander, William Jackson behind him, and then Phillips behind him. This is, I think, honestly, the best team we have put. Actually, we're gonna put Williams here. We're gonna put LeCount up there. So we're gonna start that rookie or second year player. I feel good. This team should win 11, 12 games in my opinion. Can they do it? Let's find out. So our team didn't win 11 or 12 games. They won 10. They tied a game, which is the most Bengals thing ever. I'm still pretty happy. Queen ended up unlocking a new ability for us right now. The team is facing Kansas City, which is not who I want to be facing in the wild card round, but it is what it is. Recapping the stats, I think it's just the offense we're in just really isn't conducive for Burrow throwing for a crazy amount of yards, but he hasn't been bad. 3,500 yards, 23 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. It's not amazing, but it's not poor at the same time. It's just a good effort all around. Rushing, Joe Mixon did not get 1,000 yards this year because Charbonnet ran more times than him. I'm assuming Mixon got hurt a lot, but Charbonnet, 754 yards on 205 attempts. His yards per carry is actually kind of trash. I don't really love that, but it is what it is. Again, 9 touchdowns for him, 9 for Joe Mixon. Joe Burrow, 330 yards on 5 touchdowns, and Bryce Love had 7 of his own. How was Bryce Love scoring this much? I don't know. On the receiving side, we still did not have a single 1,000-yard receiver. Tyler Boyd, 809 and 4. Justyn Ross, 735 and 6. Jerry Jeudy, 690, the most he's had by far. He had 81 receptions too, which is great for him. We only had 1 touchdown, so not really ideal for him. Everett chimed in with 660 and 2 touchdowns. Seals Jones had a couple. I mean, you can really look at it across the board and see that Joe Burrow spread the ball to everybody. On defense, for the first time in a while, Patrick Queen did not get 100 tackles. He had 95 with 4 sacks. Holden Hill had 82. Alexander in his season with us, 79 tackles, 2 interceptions. Not bad, not great, but pretty solid. And LeCount, he comes in here, his 2nd year playing, 74 tackles, 2 for a loss. Overall, a good year across the board for our team. I'm here for it. Let's see who led us in sacks. I think it was Brandon Graham. It was Graham who had 7, and Queen had 4, Hubbard had 3. Solid overall. No one really had more than 2 interceptions, but it is on to the playoffs. Can we get the job done? I hope so. So we're ready to go. Bengals versus Chiefs. I think we played them last playoffs and won. Fingers crossed we can do it again. Oh my, 3 points? Bengals, can you not blow out people? Got a couple of players. Oh my God, the Jags were 14-2. Well, look and see who's in their team really quickly. A lot of main people to upgrade. We're gonna go ahead and sim all those upgrades really quick. Because again, all those guys are incredibly important, but who the heck do the Jacksonville Jaguars have on their team to make them 14-2? I know there was Trevor Lawrence in our draft class at some point, but I don't know if he went there. But I'm blown away the fact that they have that good of a roster. Who do they have here? Miles Jack. Trevor Lawrence went there? Who's he go against Trevor Lawrence? Christian Fulton? Oh my God, this team is stacked. Okay. Okay, the Jags might have been the best team out of all of this right now. I mean, Jonathan Taylor too. Who didn't they get? Who didn't this team get? They're nuts. So I don't know what to do. 14-2. Please. God, we're playing at the Bengals too. I'm nervous. A 5-point win. Playing Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Okay. Okay, we got some players to upgrade as well. This is important. We got to upgrade all our guys. Jerry Jeudy's at 88 now. Does Burrow have any upgrades? He does not. Remember Darrell Redmond? He was like a 55 or 65. This dude's a 70 now. He's had the best dev trade of all these guys. But here we go. Final countdown to go back to the Super Bowl. Can we do it? We lost. But look, I'm still happy with how this overall went. The Bengals showed that in just a couple of seasons, Bengals fans, they can go out there and compete for a Super Bowl. They went once, they lost. They got back to the AFC Championship, then they lost that following season. But I'm telling you, with this roster that we've constructed, the Bengals can absolutely be one of those teams that makes a name for themselves. To start with Joe Burrow, it absolutely does. But look, you can get Jair Alexander in free agency. Joe Mixon still has some plenty good years left for him. Patrick Queen could be great for them. Jerry Jeudy, Tyler Boyd. Again, the list goes on. Who was your favorite player in this rebuild that you think could really turn the Bengals around in real life? Do you think Joe Burrow is the real deal? Should he be the #1 overall draft pick? If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Plenty more of these coming. And leave me a comment down below of the next rebuild that I should be doing. This is a long video. I appreciate you guys watching it all, and I'll catch you guys in the next rebuild pretty soon.